and have a conversation, like as if we were sitting in the backyard again or at Palapalooza having
Okay.
coffee and just
Yep.
shooting.
But
Yeah.
there's no sausage this time.
No, oh my goodness, tell them
Oh
what
my
I was cooking, how I was cooking.
And I was eating sausage. Somebody brought out sausages, and I was like, "Oh, get this away!" It's like, "Oh no, one more. What worse than chips?" Jeez.
You know what though? Do you remember I didn't have a frying pan? I forgot to bring my cast iron pan. And so
Mhm.
someone gave me that little, maybe it was like 5 inches by five
Yeah.
inches. And that's how I kept trying to cook all those batches of sausages.
Uh,
Oh my God, you laughed so hard at me.
hmm Well, it was funny. It was great. Yeah.
Oh, I see a comment saying, did you know that Jeffie Bear has vacationed in Cuba as well?
Yes, I did. But I was 14 years old.
Oh, you went with your parents?
No, I no. I went with people I was living with because I was in a boys' home.
Oh, okay.
And I went with them, and yeah, I Darrow Beach, and I slept in a cabana on the beach.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Did you get a lot of bug bites after doing that?
nope, I didn't. I got it was a different time. I don't know if it was the same time as the Bay of Pigs, and but there was planes not too far from us landing all the time,
Uh-huh.
and you couldn't wander Cuba. You had to stay in the compound, and there was
Hmm.
people in front of window or in front of buildings with machine guns, and the road seemed to be very narrow with big buses, and we go zipping around, and yeah, it was kind of eye opening. So yeah, and I think Russia was still a country then. Like it was still like it wasn't. It was U.S. It was either U.S. or Russia, but they told you when you got off the plane, no pictures. We have some visitors, no pictures. And somebody did take a picture, and all of a sudden, getting on the tarmac, the stormtroopers come out with the guns going, circled them, grabbed the camera, and he says, "Hey, Mike, I told you no pictures." And then they took off. I don't know if
Yeah.
it's changed.
No, it's illegal to take any pictures of the police or military in Cuba.
Okay.
Have you traveled many other places?
Uh, nope. Nope. I've been to the States. That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it. I haven't been anywhere else. Uh,
But
yeah.
you have been all over Canada. I think you've been coast to coast, haven't you?
I well, I haven't been to New Brunswick, or I haven't been to Newfoundland yet. I want to go there, and I haven't been way up north. I've been to like yeah, from Nova Scotia all the way to Vancouver, and I've been down towards California,
Mm-hmm.
just at the tip, and then I've been all the way across. I've been to 18 states. I drove across. I don't know much. Well, I mean, I know about my family, but not a lot. But they came from Gaspé, Quebec,
Oh,
way up Percy Rock. I've been there when I was a kid, uh, and yeah, I've been about there. My family settled in Montreal, so they originally came from Montreal. So I've been all around. I lived in Fredericton for a while. Yeah, I've been around a little bit.
so when I first learned of you, you were living in British Columbia. Were you out
Yes.
in BC for quite a while?
I was out in BC for about, I believe, 14 years, I believe. Since I had my heart attack in 2000, I had my operation in 2010. It was the Olympics. So I had my bypass. I was there at 2009, 208 or 209. So from then until last year, when I had to come back, that's how long as I've been in Vancouver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I
it's
wasn't always van dwelling. I only van dwelled for about I started in an RV, and then I moved to a Ford. I've only been doing it for 5 years, but not regularly. Like Chrome has done it about the same time, but he hasn't got out of his van really. Like he's been
mhm.
doing it steady. I haven't. It's about that. That's when I met him. So
So when like why van life?
why van life? Well, Okay. Anybody who's a recovering addict, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I got tired of talking to people all the time. Or or recovering addicts or alcoholics, because I found out that a lot of people, unless you really want to change, you're not going to. So you can talk all you want, and it's not going to work. And I kept on doing that, and I put a lot of things in my life. Uh, I put I put that job. It wasn't even a paying job. It's just that I got a lot of satisfaction out of that. I put that ahead of a lot of other things, including my family at one point in my life. And
Okay,
then,
wait.
yeah, go
Sorry.
ahead.
So, were you volunteering with the
Yeah,
group?
well, I used to work with these people before when they were in Ottawa, and
Okay.
then we split up. I mean, I left. I couldn't deal with it anymore, and then I found out that they were starting another place, and if I wanted to, and I just got on my disability because I lost a toe or something, and so I was on long term disability. So they said if you want to come out here, you can come out here, talk to people, and so I thought, yeah, okay, because I missed it. But I went there, and it didn't work out the way I thought it would work out, which was fine. But I left, and that's when I mean I had a girlfriend at the time, so her ideas of van life and my ideas of van life are two different things.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, I'm the cheap side. She was the expensive side. Like we can camp all. I said no, you can't camp all the time. It's $40 a night. So it's like yeah. So I did. Yeah, and she didn't want to sleep in a Walmart parking lot in case she had to. But I was the only one driving, so it was like yeah, it was a tug and tear. Like we got along semi, but it was push and pull type of deal, and it was like no, I'm done. So yeah, I just decided that's it. We're done. We're over. It's done. It was done for a while, but and that's two reasons why I got into van life. I didn't want to see inside of a room anymore, and I wanted to see what the world was because I'm not being because I knew well. We all know we're dying, right? So I knew the chances are that I'll probably die before most people will. So I just said, you know what? Instead of wasting my time talking to the wall or talking to people and changing all the time, I'm just going to live my life. So that's what I did, and I liked it. And the funny thing was, I thought I was the first one to think of van life. That's the I really did. I mean, I'm so naive. I just thought that, self centered. This is a great idea. I got down to the beach and I said, holy geez, I mean, there's people all over the place. Yeah. So,
Right now, I see
oh,
everybody in the chat saying hi. Now, how did you and Chrome meet?
oh, well, see, I was watching that one channel I didn't like. I finally said, no, there's got to be somebody else. And then I met, yeah, then I was rolling down I was rolling through the um, Jericho Beach. I was going through there, and I find a guy in a white van. And I thought, oh, there he is. So I managed to pull over in the parking lot. I was a little hesitant because he was talking to another person that was about to get into van life, and then I met him. I said, "Okay, I talked to you." Yeah, so we talked, we chatted a little bit, and then I left. And then I think we did that a couple of times. And then one day he see me around um, around the side of the road there from Stanley Park. I was parked there, and he came up to me and said, "Hey, big guy, you want a T-shirt?" And I said, "Oh." So he gave me my first hoodie. And I said, "Why? What's wrong with it?" Right? Because I'm thinking, what's wrong with it? He says, "Oh no." He goes, "No, this is good." And he says, "The person that wanted it before, the person that wanted it doesn't like it because it's a little bit low or something like that." Well, come to know that was Chrome. He didn't like the shirt, so he gave it to me through all this stuff. Well, you know how picky he is, which he's paying money, so he could be
Yeah.
picky. But
Yeah.
I'm just saying, he's just like, oh, look at this. I said, okay, I'll take it. I said, was this yours? And he started like smiling. So we hit it off there. And then, like, I don't really think in another life or another world we would have ever got together because I
Yeah.
thought I thought he was an a-hole. I thought just the way he had dyed his hair and everything else, and I just thought, what is and then he probably thought the same thing. We probably didn't get along. So we've talked about this. I don't know how the hell we click, but we seem to click. Like we do. I think the main thing is if anything, is our honesty.
Yeah.
We don't have no bullshit between each other. This is
Mm,
it. This is the way I feel, or I'm not really sure about that. But we're honest about each other. And we don't bullshit each other. And I think that's what makes us have a great friendship, even though I don't see him all the time lately. But anytime I call him, I mean, I'll have to say it. Anytime I call him, he'll always make time for me, unless he's really, really super busy. And
yeah.
that usually is never. And even when he's with now that he's with Emmy, he still answers my calls. So it's like, yeah, I mean that's a great thing. So that's like I believe him when he says he has my back because he always has. So
Hmm.
till he proves me wrong, I have nothing bad to say about the guy.
Well, I'm trying to remember. I think the first time I ever saw you online was through Chrome's channel, and now maybe I'm screwing this up. I'm not sure, but did people send money through Chrome's channel to you?
Well, there was one point where Chrome was sort of like I said, we get along good. There's one time with Chrome says, "Hey, why do you keep on putting me on camera?" Because I mean, sometimes I was almost like saying, like leave me alone, like you know, without saying that because it was very short and blunt. And then he said, "Oh, somebody sent me this for you," and I said, "Oh, okay." I didn't really want to do it because I've even said it on one of my videos when I was parked beside him uh, in at the ocean one time. I was parked beside him, and I was looking at him through my RV, and I said, there's no damn way I'm getting into something like that, being on my knees all day long. I couldn't handle it, and there's no way. Like he used to spend 5 or 6 hours editing videos. I think he still does, but I think he's a little bit quicker now. He probably does two or three, but he puts everything into his stuff, right? So I'm like,
Hmm.
there's no damn way I'm doing that. I mean, you guys, you say it's not a job. I used to laugh at him and said, "You're full of it. It's a freaking job. Look at you. You're working 8 hours a day." And I mean, I was stuck in the bush with him one day. My van wasn't working, and
Uh-huh.
this fool, 5 o'clock in the morning, out with a camera. I said, "What are you doing?" "Oh no, 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 no. Gotta take pictures, man. Gotta take content." I'm like, "Oh my god."
So you're thinking, okay, he's doing all this work, he's got the
Yeah.
camera all the time. What in hell possessed you to start a channel of your own?
Well, he used to. Well, he didn't bug me, but he said, "It'd be a good idea." And then he sort of like enticed me with, "Oh, I could make some extra money." And I said, "Okay," And I said, "I don't know. Just talk about your stuff." And so I just started to. I just did. I guess I I was hesitant. Sometimes I still am. Like I'm still hesitant now. Not right this minute, but putting up videos because I'm not in a van anymore. I sort of like
Hmm.
identify myself with the van, but no, people keep on telling me. I got a lot of people that keep on telling me it's not the van, it's you. People are
Hmm.
attracted to you, and I went, oh, okay. It helps when I got a van, I guess, so they can sort of like they can sort of like see two things. But yeah, so that's I just decided I'll go slow. And the funny thing was, I believe if I'm wrong, I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but I think I thought I needed 10,000 subscribers to get ahead or to monetize.
Yeah.
It ended up that I only needed 1,000. By the time I looked, I think it was a little bit 3 weeks, between 3 and 4 weeks. I was up to 20,000, and I went, that's exactly what I did too. I got a lot of good people that follow me because I mean I do because they tell me that. They said it's
Hmm.
not about anything else, it's about you. It's about you, Jeff. And I don't know. I guess because of being a recovered addict, alcoholic, I still had a hard time, or my lifestyle, still have a hard time believing in that. And it's still like it's somewhat of a struggle. It's not as bad as it was. I mean, I get over it, but it's just that, yeah, I have a hard time believing that, yeah,
You know what? That's something I noticed too. Lot watching your live streams, and since you've lost your
legs.
legs from what, the knee down, right?
No, from knee, above the knee.
Above the knee, down
Yes.
for both
Yeah,
legs.
for both. Yeah.
You always, you always have this way of joking about it and making it seem like like you can talk about
Okay.
it, but it's not something that brings people down.
No, well, I hope not. I mean, I tried Miracle Grow. Don't work. So I just
See,
like
it's stuff like that.
yeah,
That's
no, but
totally
that
you.
you can there used to be an old saying, especially in recovery. I'm not trying to get into religious stuff, but they used to say you could pray for potatoes, but grab the hoe. Like just don't pray for them. Do something about it. Well, this is it. Like I mean, I can't get them back. I made the choice. I know enough. I'm not going to judge myself on the fact I made the choice to get them cut above the knee. So I got to accept it. So that's how I move on. I mean, I
Mhm.
got lots of other fears coming up. Like, I mean, as far as living in a van and stuff, I got lots of other fears coming up I'm going to have to deal with. But right now, it's just like I got to keep on going. And that's the point.
So right now, do you have a vehicle with modifications? Like
Oh, I
you're
don't
not
have
driving
anything
at
right
all?
now. Right now, I just got my wheelchair. I got two wheel. I actually got three wheelchairs. I got the electric one, but that's sort of like that doesn't help me a lot. It gets me around, but it doesn't help me like physically and stuff. So I gotta do that. I probably won't. Whenever I do get a van, I probably have to take my manual wheelchair. It comes apart. It only weighs 25 kilograms, so it's not heavy. So I can move it. I've been in and out of the van enough now. I can move it in and out. We're good.
Hmm.
So I'm still waiting to get my license. That's a real yeah, that's cost me a lot. The only thing that the driver instructor and the guy that's doing it said honestly was this is going to cost you a lot of money. And right now I'm up to about $2,000 in, and don't even have my license yet. They make it sound because I don't look at it as difficult. I just look at it as a challenge. Yeah,
Hmm.
it's different, but other people do it.
So I don't know how it works in Ontario. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm in a different province of Canada, and we have an organization that does a telethon every year called Telemiracle. There's
Hmm.
been 47 years that they've done it every year in the winter, and a lot of people in Saskatchewan will apply to them to
Hmm.
get those modifications done, for example, to a vehicle
Yeah.
to get it covered. Is there anything like that in Ontario?
Well, there's a thing called the March of Dimes, and I've applied for that, but there's always stipulations. I've learned there's lots of stipulations. They won't put a ramp on my front door, like in front of the house right now, because I don't. My daughter does not own her house, so and that's $20,000. So they won't do that. Now I'm at jeopardy of I put one together real quick before the snow came because I said I ain't getting stuck in that house in the wintertime if I don't have to.
Yeah.
So so I put it up there and I'm waiting for somebody from the city to come by and say that's not allowed and I'll have to tear it down. But until then, you know, and then as far as the van goes, yes, I need to get the special equipment. They will help me, but I have to have a van first. So it's once I get a van, I can apply and say, okay, can you help me with the equipment and whatever. I mean, the equipment's not all that bad, but it's like another $1,500 to $1,800.
Well, and I imagine you have to pay for the driver's assessments as well.
Well, I have to pay because I'm out of town. It's a funny story. They got the same thing here, Young Drivers of Canada. They got one in Cornwall, but this guy only does either left or right. And I said, how about this? I'm a W amputee. I'll come in on Monday for my left and will teach me on Wednesday for my right. How's that? And they said, it doesn't work that way. You got to go to Ottawa. So, anyways, so I go to Ottawa, and every time I go to Ottawa, it's $300. And I'm still waiting on nurses and stuff like that to help me out because I have a hard time. 'Cause this house is not made for me. I'm grateful.
Most
I'm here.
houses aren't,
No, well, most aren't. You're right, and
right?
this one definitely isn't. And I I could take a shower, but I think I'm still I'm still stuck in van life because maybe once a week
Right?
I still pee in a bottle and I still poo in a bucket. It's a fancier bucket. It's a fancier bucket, but I still use the old plastic bag, tie it up, and
Well, van life is just training for this, right?
Well, pretty much. I mean, that's really what it is, actually. Like, I mean, it's not really it's not really a big change. It's like I'm stuck somewhere, like not really stuck, but I'm stuck somewhere in in a room. That's all. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
they're all out front. My family's all out front watching hockey, and I'm back here in my room, just like I'm just in a big van, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
What was your favorite place that you've traveled to?
Hmm. Favorite place I traveled to? Well, uh, there's a lot of places I travel. Uh, I mean,
Well, you were in British Columbia for so long, and all
uh,
of British Columbia is
oh,
beautiful.
all of British Columbia is beautiful, and that's the thing. But I found I got bored of it all the time. I mean, and I know. Don't nail me.
You take for granted what you have.
Yeah, but I look. I mean, it was beautiful waking up in mountains, and I love going into places that I see old things and stuff like that. And been up like 20 miles of forestry road, and it's just like wow. But I do remember like the states. I love going to the states. I do remember the Badlands. I remember all them places. I didn't really like Mount Rushmore, and I didn't really like Old Faithful, but I did like Yellowstone Park. uh,
Mm-hmm.
Not that I didn't like it, but I come from an era where back in the day when we closed our TVs here in Canada at 12 o'clock or whatever it was, you always seen a picture of Old Faithful when you watch American channels, and you always seen a picture of the monument there. Um, so when I got there and I seen it, there was like 10,000 people around it. I
Oh,
never,
so commercialized.
I never seen that on TV. All I seen was just the Old Faithful, and I didn't see the garbage that it spews, but it spews garbage. There's
Mm.
because they dump it in about a mile away, and it goes through and it comes up. I mean, that's what they're even saying. And in different places I went to, they say don't throw your trash in here because it does come up. You can't hide it.
Hmm.
Same thing with Mount Rushmore. It was elbow to elbow. I mean, I couldn't get in to see it too well. I mean, I got there, but it was like there was a lot of people.
Yeah, I went to Mount Rushmore too, and it wasn't what I expected either. I
Yes,
didn't expect all the commercial stuff and the building, yeah, and the people, just even trying to find a place to park. That was
yes,
not in my mind. Because, yeah, that's not the part you see here
yeah,
in Canada, right?
yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. And I did like I don't even like real hockey games. I like watching it on TV. I mean, I've been into
Yeah,
I've been to Vancouver, Montreal, been to different places. I like watching it on TV. So, I mean,
it's the best seat.
that's what I say because you get close ups and everything else, right? So, uh,
Hmm.
yeah. So there's a lot of places. I just like seeing different places. I like. I was talking to Sam's hubby today, and we were talking about places and trying to remember names of places because he was from that area at one time, and
Hmm.
like I was talking about Oregon, and just different places, and it's just like there's a lot of beautiful country, man. Like Oregon, we were talking about that today. Oregon's got four different things. They got like mountains, they got a desert, and they got like tons of trees, all in one state. And they got something else, but I mean, I forget what it is, but they got all that stuff in one state. You can see all that difference. That's just cool.
Yeah, I've never been there. So Debbie wants to know, will you be doing more cooking videos?
Okay. I will. It's just that here, like I was doing when I started changing my diet a bit, I did a lot of cooking videos, but I'm pretty bland at cooking. Like I mean, I can eat the same stuff pretty much day in day out. If
Hmm.
tossing an onion here or a green onion there.
On over out there. Have you ever considered going out to visit them?
Oh yeah, I have. It's just that yeah. I mean I have I definitely have, but I mean it's just that I don't know if I'd have to take somebody with me because I need to have a I think I don't I mean I've gotten on an airplane before, but see that's another problem. all these all these things I like to do, but it's a problem if I don't have somebody with me or whatever, or I'm gonna have to do stuff like in an aisle, like right there in my seat. So I'm gonna have to do like if I have to go to the washroom, I'm gonna have to do it in my seat because I can't get up and run to the
Yeah.
washroom. So I gotta have something over me, or nobody wants to see that on a flight. So it's just like and I gotta be hauled in and hauled out, and I'm first one on, last one off. I gotta,
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that, and I gotta, it's just it's crazy. So that scares me a little bit, but it's not impossible. It's just
So we have a question from Desert Adventures in Arizona. Does Canada provide disability income for people like Jeffie? Yes, there is. But Jeff, do you want to explain a little bit about it?
yeah. Well, I mean, okay, right now I'm 65, so I all that disability stuff I was getting, I stopped. They pay for my drugs, uh, and I get the CPP, and I get the Canada Pension Plan, CPA or something like whatever that is. Yeah.
OHS.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Old age security. Thank you. Yeah, and I get that. So I get them too. And right now, and I'm supposed to get because I'm at the lowest level, and I'm supposed to get a top up allowance or something they call it. And
But yeah, guaranteed income supplement.
that's right. And I
It
haven't
just
got
puts you
that.
at the bare minimum for what a person might be able to live off of on retirement. Because yeah, in Canada, even if you're no matter what benefits you're on, the minute you hit 65, it's done. And I work with a
Yeah,
lot of people that they want to stay on their disability for as
they
long
can't.
as they can because they did better then
Yep.
than once they hit the retirement.
Yeah, so it's right now, like I went from at one point in my life, I went from $1,700 on disability, and now I'm living off of 1,300.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm waiting for that Canada supplement thing to come in, play, but that takes anywhere from 100 to 200 days, but it's retroactive.
Yeah.
So I'll get it all back, but right now I'm not getting anything. So that's the thing. So the only thing I get is what I finally started to make on YouTube. It took me a while to get that because I had to fill in this American thing just to say I live in Canada and that's it.
So did that affect your disability? Like I know a lot of plans you're allowed to earn a certain amount and then
Yeah.
the rest actually gets deducted from your benefit.
Yes. Well, right now, because I'm on old age security, I think I'm allowed to. If I heard that right, I think I'm allowed to make up to like $6,000 or $7,000 a year before they take away my supplement. They start chopping into my supplement. I'll still keep the Canada pension and I'll still keep the CPP, but that supplement, it'll if I make more than $6,000 or $7,000, they'll start chopping it off a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I just live off of YouTube, like what I get from Canada, and then YouTube. I just
So
live off of that.
essentially you'll still have only the same amount of money until your YouTube grows enough
Yeah, yeah,
to
yeah,
actually put you ahead. But I mean
yeah,
that's a nice thing with PayPal and stuff. That's something
yeah.
you don't necessarily have to claim. You get the full amount.
Yeah,
Right?
I know. Well, that's the thing. I mean, people have blessed me. People, I'm not going to mention names, but people have blessed me with money they've given me, and I'm like, holy. Again, I sit there and I go, what are you doing this for? But they want to, so it's like, yeah, okay. It's just, but yeah, I mean, they help out too. So yeah, everything, and I try to be like, I got to be honest about it all. So I, this is the first year, so I gotta everything I make or everything I buy, or if it's for my van and it goes on YouTube, I gotta claim it so I don't have
Yeah.
to pay. Like
Yeah. Make
I'm
sure
not
you
used to
cover
that
your
stuff. Yeah,
expenses.
yeah. I'm not you. I don't even know what expenses I'm supposed to. I'll have to figure that out when I get a van. I'm pretty sure gas and different things like that. And if I have to, but all that stuff I bought before it was in the middle. I was on uh, disability, and I was and I was new to like felt like I was an immigrant. I was new to Ontario. Uh, I fell in the cracks, and all that stuff I bought. Like I bought like a $3,500 chair. I bought a $2,000 bed because I needed the lift. Uh, I bought another chair. I bought this chair. Somebody gave it to me, but I had to pay for it to get down here, which is fine. And
Hmm.
you know, and then I thought, with all that bills, and I flew my daughter out and I brought her back and everything else. All that with all them bills, I thought, it might help me out. But they said, "Well, did you move here for a job?" I said, "No." "Did you move here to go to school?" I said, "No, I'm 65." And they said, "Well, it doesn't count. Same thing with the wheelchair. Same thing with this. So it's like, it's yeah. It's just I. That's one thing I regret. I didn't pay attention to all that stuff when I was in school. I should have listened more about long term.
Well, a lot of people don't realize, yeah, everyone hears Canada free healthcare, but not everything is free. Most things, but there are gaps when a person moves province to
Yep.
province. Each
Yep.
province has its own individual plan.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people are not aware of that at all.
Oh, I felt like an immigrant, man. I changed my driver's license for the name. Now it's uh now it's Joseph Jeffrey Gerald, and then my 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 medical card, Joseph Jeffrey Gerald, everything Joseph Jeffrey Gerald, because they all screwed it up because they wouldn't give me part of my license because in 2006 you used the name Jeffrey Gerald, not Joseph Jeffrey. So so they wouldn't give it to me. It had to all be the same. And I went, oh, gee. So I changed all that. And I said, okay,
Mhm.
now it's the same. And there you go. Because I never went by Joseph. I always went by Jeffrey. I mean, that's my middle name, but I always went by that. That's what they called me. And
Yeah.
now they called me, when I got to BC, they called me Joseph. And for a while, they called me, there's a lot of immigrants in BC. For a while, they called me Josephi. So that was on my card. That was on my card, man. Joseph, and they couldn't change it for the next 2 years. So I was going by Josephi every time. Josephi. I was like, yeah. So I've had a hassle with that stuff, and it's just like and that's why I make fun of myself, or I make fun of my stumps, or I make fun of stuff because it's just like, oh yeah, like sometimes I boil up inside. I probably have a heart attack because I got a temper, or I used to have a temper, and yeah, I gotta sort of like calm down. It's not their fault. It's just they got rules and they gotta
Yeah.
follow them, and the rules don't make sense, but it don't make sense to me. But yeah, but they
Mhm.
gotta follow them. So I said, okay,
They want to know if income taxes are really high in Canada, but I don't know what the American tax system is to compare it.
yeah,
I know for my income, 30% goes to taxes.
yep,
Like 30% they don't see. And then I got my union dues and contributions to my work health care plan, contributions to my pension plan. But yeah, a third of my check I never ever see.
yep.
Yeah.
It,
So yeah, I think that's high enough,
well,
right?
yeah, well, I mean, the only bonus, like, I mean, I gotta watch. My daughter hates it because I get money coming in every now and then from government stuff I never got before. And I go, what the hell is this? She goes, I don't know, but I don't get it. And she works. She's got 4 kids. Works. She was working 2 jobs. It's like
Yeah.
I one of the bonus things I got, but I had to fight for it because I wasn't crippled enough. That's what they said. You're not disabled enough, and I fought for it 5 times. Anyways, I got disability tax credit. That helps me. That puts me at a certain level, and usually I get money back. But you know,
Hmm.
but that's like I've been fighting that ever since I was a diabetic, and they just said no. I
That's
finally got it.
crazy.
Yeah, I know. I finally got it because they changed the bill by one little thing. If I have to take care of myself for 5 hours a day, it's like holy geez, 5 hours a day. I gotta take care of myself 24 hours a day with my sugars and stuff. So yeah,
Yeah. No, we do not give free band-aids. Actually, as a diabetic, not everything is covered for that either.
no. Well, my my insulin, different drugs are. Some of them have to be generic. I guess the lower name, not the high names. Uh, but my needles aren't. That's funny, you know.
The
I mean,
needles aren't covered through our healthcare system.
no, cost me $60.
Yeah, I thought that. I thought that, but I
Yep,
wasn't sure because I don't deal with it, right? But
yep,
yeah,
yep.
so even though we live in Canada and everything's covered, you're a diabetic, you have either extra health care coverage through disability, right, at
Mhm.
that time, but you still had to pay for your needles separate.
Well,
So
well, yeah. Well, that's the thing that people don't understand. But I'll take you back a long time ago. When I was 14 years old, my mother used to fight, not with me, but fight for the government. She was on what they used to call here mother's allowance because she had 4 kids, and husband left, and whatever,
Yeah,
yada yada. So the government would not pay for the needles. I had to pay. We had to pay for the needles, but yet they came out with that bill at the time that they gave addicts free needles, and that drove my mother nuts. She used to
right?
say, "I can't understand this. These guys take drugs for fun, and this guy's tasting it for living, and you won't give them to him." So yeah, that's been like that since I've been 14 or 11 years old.
Yeah.
So
Captain Jack Scrapper, San Francisco gives up free needles, but not for diabetics. That's
yeah,
exactly what Jeffie Bear's talking about, right?
yep.
So now, if you were an addict, you'd have all the free needles you want.
Well, I was sober for 30 years, and the guy told one guy said, "You can get all this for free, or you can get some of this for free. And all you got to do is say you're an addict." I said, "Well, I am an addict, but I'm not an active addict. I said, why am I going to use that just to get free?" Like that's where maybe I was silly or stupid or whatever, but I wasn't going to put myself down just to get free
Yeah.
stuff. I'm
Now,
not
the
going to say I'm
takeaway
an addict. I'm
from
not going
the
to say nothing.
take-
Oh, I'm a drug addict or I'm an alcoholic. Nope.
Mhm.
Sorry, I'm done with that. Like, I mean,
I
let's
mean,
move
what
on.
you could do, Jeff, though, is take needles that you have and just
I
exchange them.
well, I yeah, but I got see, it's not different. They give them one shot things or whatever. I
Oh, I
mean,
don't know. I don't take needles for anything.
these are needles. These are needles.
I'm gonna make you bigger on the screen here. Whoops,
Okay.
wrong person.
Yeah,
There we
there
go.
you go. These are needles.
That's
These
a
are needles.
needle for
That's a
insulin.
needle. It's called dial a dose. You flick that up and it dials a dose. Yeah, that's what it's called.
And you use that same thing multiple times?
I use this. I might use about 3 or 4 shots. I take 185 units with this every day. I take
Wow.
I take 25 to 35 plus if my sugar's up high. I take yeah, right there. I'm looking at you. I can't see nothing. I take this one about 4 times a day. Yeah, 4 times a day. So yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
My auntie Cindy, now she lives in St. Thomas, Ontario.
Okay,
And she says where they are, they can go to a local health unit and they'll give them syringes because her spouse has to take needles.
yeah. Well,
So
some
I don't
people
know.
have some people have single shot needles, like single shots, like just one dose, and then they throw the whole needle away. But they changed that a long time ago. See, I could get around that, but they changed that a long time ago. They gave me that. This is much easier. Like one needle in your pocket, I can use it 10 times. I just have to change the tip all the time, but I don't because they cost me money, and I'm only sticking it into me, so I don't do that. But yeah, that's what you're supposed to do. I even got told that from a doctor and from a nurse one time. And I had to change needles. And there was one time we used to have to do blood work. Uh, we used to take the big strips that they used to get there. They were $50 for 50 strips. It was almost a buck a strip. Doctor said just split it in half and use it twice. Use one side. Like
Ah,
yeah, like I've even done an old heroin trick. Like when I didn't have any money and I was down a little bit and I only had a couple. I used a 12 pack of needles for a year. A 12 pack of needles for a year. You're supposed to use it one time. I even,
wow.
I even, I even when it got really dull, like I said, I worked with addicts. Take a matchbook and I sanded the tip down, put it in alcohol, sterilize it, and shoved it in my arm. That's what I had to do. And people,
Wow.
I don't complain about it, but I mean that's people just think, oh no, everything's free, or you get no, you don't get everything for free.
Yeah, this was a ton of fun. Thank
Good.
you so much. And good
Yep.
night, everybody.
Good night.